Well, what's rarer than one Austin Maestro in New Zealand? Two Austin Maestros in New Zealand. It's a bit of a weird story, this one. This is an ex-British Royal Mail van. And it was imported by the postman when he retired. It's a 1984 Maestro van. It's obviously been off the road for a while, but was up and going. Somebody broke the windscreen, don't think we could find one, so there it sat. So this was imported by the postman when he retired. He brought it to New Zealand with him. These are extremely rare here because they were never really officially sold, so I've never seen another one. I hear there's a rusty one in Horpeat or somebody told me, but I've yet to see it. But it's a pretty cool thing to see here. These are like the rival for the Escort van. And they weren't actually bad. They were actually pretty good, especially with the Perkins diesel. They were fantastic. Discovery taillights there for those in the know. This one's actually really clean inside. Surprisingly, it was all boarded out. Super basic little van. You know, the Perkins diesel ones of these were well loved. Everybody thought they were great. Lots of people drove them around the UK, and they were super handy. They would break the door handles and leave you stranded, just like this one has done. But this is the only, as far as I know, MG Maestro in New Zealand. And this is a first year only one, 83, 84. And this was imported, and it immediately failed on rust. Well, Air Force stickers, Pondfield Garage, if anybody still knows if that's still going. I would doubt it a lot because I don't think there's anything that's even remotely Rover related anymore. Comes with the awesome Maestro MG only wheels. Hard to find those. Look at the rust in this already. Good grief. This is how they rust. Bad. But what is inordinately exciting about this, apart from the seats in the car, but are actually pretty nice. And it'll go on the other one, and you can obviously strip bits off this for it, which is what's going to happen. Look at that. Digital dash. Whoa. Mind melting. Like, I'm desperate to try this out, honestly. Before I get rid of this, I think I'm going to give it a go. But the even more exciting part is this. So this was an entirely useless Nagathonic speaking to you car dash. It's the first way they had it to try and work. So it would tell you the oil pressure was low and that the doors were open and that, you know, you'd forgot to service it or whatever. I don't think I actually said that. It was very basic. It was like doors open, lights on, oil pressure low, things like that, you know. It was just a hysterically bad 80s synthesized thing. Look at it, it's quite nice in here. The dash is all quite tidy. This is because this was a fairly low mileage-ish car. Well, 122,000 miles, which actually that wasn't that low back in those days, but look, even the pedals are lovely. This was a super posh, super fast car back in the day. Hard to believe that something that's basically the evolution of the Allegro. Actually, let's be really honest, the Allegro was also a quick car. This one's speed lightened, which is a particularly normal state of affairs for these Maestros. Super cool little back hatch spoiler. Man, I can't remember the last time I saw one of these. They used to be really popular. They were around for a long time, and then they all just simply rusted to pieces almost immediately. They seem to just disappear overnight. So my idea was I could do an MG Maestro van, because it still comes with the twin carb motor. I always thought these were ejected, so I was a little bit shocked when I saw this. Yes, it's a twin carb motor, and that's obviously the E series. They'll be called something else, but it's the continuation of the E series. Very cool thing. Hard to believe this was once like almost a boy racer car. You know, usually British Leyland Rover MG, they didn't quite manage to make a boy racer version. Then they did a turbo version, which was even more ludicrous. Anybody that's driven the turbo version will attest to how massively fast they were and how much they torque steered. They were just mind melting, but they were kind of cool, you know. I mean, I say cool. Back in the day, if you drove a Maestro, you weren't cool. You were somebody's nan. Generally, that was the way that most people looked at it. I think the styling has probably aged quite well, but the rust, like this, you'd see these cars this rusty in the 90s. It's just how they were. You live by the beach or something, they just got eaten. And it doesn't matter how cool your wheels were or how fast it was. And apparently the turbo was actually faster than the 911 to 60 miles an hour, which is cool and mildly unbelievable, but it is actually true. Maybe they tuned them. That was what they generally did. But I remember a friend of mine had one of these, and it absolutely used to fly. It was a really quick car. Cornered okay as well. I mean, the MG was a pretty cool car, but the turbo, man, that was mind scrambling. Now, I really would love somebody to see if this, or if you're in New Zealand and you kind of want a really obscure van project, well, have I got news for you. You could be owning both of these bad boys. This is on hold too, this van. But yeah, I think it really has to kind of go to somebody else. All the parts you would possibly need for it are there. Even make an MG Maestro van turbo, I think, if you really wanted to go berserk. Yeah, it was a pretty cool old thing, I think. But it's like, I really want somebody else to take hold of this. This is a project for somebody who wants to make one. This isn't one for me to keep, unfortunately, because I've just run out of time, run out of steam at the moment. Been extremely busy, so if you're in the mood for some Christmassy projects, drop me a line down below, or get hold of me. You know how to get hold of me, King Country Towing, and you could be owning something, I mean, pretty, I think, totally unique. Like, you could put a crazy MG front on that, or you could just keep it super basic like this. I think it just looks like a rock'em sock'em robot to me. I don't know why they just, with that weird front treatment. I would imagine there are none of these left. Like, if there are, let me know. I mean, I remember the Perkins Prima ones were really, really, really well loved, and these are both early cars. They're both like 84. I think they only came out in 83, maybe 82. I suspect it was 83. But if, like, I'd love to hear more about it. If you want to go and talk about MGs and Maestros, I'd love to hear the chat. So comment down below. And thanks as always for watching and subscribing. And if you haven't watched and subscribed, please do it. And if you have subscribed, just double check to make sure that you are actually still subscribed, because what actually happens is they seem to kick people off my channel when we're buried in the algorithm as usual. But so just double check that you are. Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.